For me, when I think of the women that I have worked with and the males that I have worked with, especially in leadership positions, one thing that I've struggled with personally is how do I own all of the female that I am while being in such a traditional, very male dominated and masculine environment. And I don't think women and the world has developed so far beyond where we were even 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. But I still really push back on the idea that like there is this challenge of what does real feminine leadership look like, because there still are so few examples in traditional corporate structures, because you still see that it's men who have a very specific leadership style, so that feminine leadership style is more ill defined. How do you bring out in somebody the confidence to say, this might not be how everybody else is doing it, or the 80% who are more masculine in their approach, but I'm going to feel really good about going forward in the way that I do it, even though I don't see examples directly in my environment where there's been success there.
Well, the first thing is I believe a queen always has a choice. And so there's a certain amount of choice about what environment you have placed yourself in to work. And I'm not saying that it should always be easy or that your voice should always be revered. Like, you may be in a particular environment where you're meant to pave the way, where you're meant to be a disruptor or make waves. But feminine leadership, keep in mind, is not about gender. It's about feminine principles. So the feminine, let's just illustrate, the feminine is the intuitive, the charismatic, the passionate, the insightful, the visionary, the being able to see things not as they are, but as they could be. It's the non-linear, the non-circular, it's more being. Now the masculine, on the other hand, it's the logical, linear, tangible, concrete, predictable, probable. It's about providing and protecting. So feminine leadership is not always seen in women, by the way. Jesus was a feminine leader. Dr. King Jr. was a feminine leader. Gandhi was a feminine leader because they led with feminine principles of vision, of miracles, of charisma, of passion, of, the feminine is about the we, the masculine is about the I. And so, we see many women where their leadership style is more masculine. So this is not about gender as much as knowing that the world is really craving the feminine from both men and women right now, because it's taking into consideration the and. I write a lot in the book about take a stand for the and. Consider yourself and the other person. The masculine has us go like, oh, well, I'm just gonna listen to what somebody else has to say, or I'm only gonna focus on me being right. It's this either or mentality, but the feminine comes from the place of the and that really considers the whole company, the whole community, or both people in the conversation.